So today we're going to be talking about our second budget assignment that's due this week. So to do this assignment, we have to make sure we are doing our sum function. I'm also going to be looking for other things on this assignment. What I'm looking for is that you have planned expenditures, things that you have set goals to spend on. Like in my fake budget, because this isn't my real one, I spend $500 on groceries. That is my goal. And then in the month of January, I see if I can meet that goal. Notice in January I did not on this budget. Also notice in February, not all my numbers are filled out because February is not over yet. And what we're going to do is we're going to add all my expenditures together in the program using the sum function. So to do that, I'm going to find a cell and just click on it here. I'm clicking here. And on my keyboard, I type the equal sign, SUM, and then I'm going to write a parenthesis. And then here I'm going to click and drag on everything I want to sum. If you hold the control key, you can click on other things to sum too. Like if I hold the control, I can click and add up all these that I'm clicking on. I don't want those, so I'm going to delete them out. But I do want what I clicked and dragged. And then I'm going to type close parenthesis and hit enter. And it's going to add everything that I've done up. Then I'm going to write the word difference. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write equals. I'm going to click on my work income and hit the minus sign and click on my total to find out what I should have left over at the end of the month, which is $315. And then I'm going to use the sum function to add up my expenditures for January. So here's January. I'm going to go underneath here for the total. I'm going to click equals, SUM, open parenthesis, and click and drag on all of this information, close parenthesis, and when I hit enter, it's going to tell me everything that I spent. And then I'm going to use my subtraction formula. So I'm going to click here, equals. I'm going to click on January, and I'm going to subtract my total to find out how well I did. And notice if it's red and with parentheses, it means negative. So I actually overspent in January. So I actually spent more money than I made, which is bad. But we all are human and we learn from our mistakes. So we got to think of it positively so we can change them. And then I'm going to check this out. So I want to compare my actuals to my goal. So I'm going to write equals. I'm going to click on my goal amount and I'm going to subtract off my actual and hit enter. And notice that means I met my goal. So I have $320 as my goal for tithing and I met my goal. And then if I click and drag this down, it'll copy my subtraction formula all the way across. So I can see where I saved money for the month compared to my goal and where I lost money compared to my goal. So if I look at heating, my goal was to only spend $100 on my heating bill. But let's say it was a really cold winter and I ended up spending $40 more, and that comes up right here. Same with my mortgage, my groceries, my car payment, my gas, my date. Let's say I went on too many dates. Again, this isn't a real budget. And then restaurant, I'm going to just write restaurant. Okay. And then savings, and then I have this thing called a slush fund. That's where you save things for advance. So let's say that I knew I needed a new car soon, so I would have a separate savings account in which I was saving money for that. This savings account that I just have for savings is for big things, and typically I'd like to use the word retirement, but that's a different story for another day. Again, I would like to see how I did here. So overall, we could sum this up to find out what we're doing and everything. But the big point is now I can look at where I'm saving money and where I'm losing money. And what's really important is, let's say I look at my mortgage. My goal is to pay $750. Now, mortgage is rent or where you live on my home, but I end up spending $875. In America, that's not adjustable. And so my goal is not a good goal, and I should change this if this was a real budget. because if $8.75 is what I have to pay, there's no way I can pay $7.50, and so that needs to be changed. However, with groceries, I could change this. I could try to buy more inexpensive groceries, or maybe not buy so many things that I really don't need. Like maybe instead of buying 5 gallons of ice cream, I can just buy 1. You know, if you really like ice cream's pretty cheap here in America, but I don't know how it is where you live or anything, but when you buy a lot of it, it does add up, and I know my kids like it, but we can't get it every day, and that's something that they've learned so that we can stay in budget. Again, February is not complete, but I could set up my subtraction formula if I'd like. And so this is what I'm looking for. So when I grade your worksheet, I'm looking to see that you've tracked 4 weeks worth of expenses, or basically all of January and maybe part of February. I'm looking to see again goals, because that's what a budget needs. It needs goals. And I'm also looking to see if you used your sum function. So when I click on your cell, see how it says sum up here? That's what I'm looking for. So if you don't have any of these sum functions, like let's say I'm clicking through your whole thing and I don't see any sums, you will not earn very much credit. You must use the sum function inside Excel. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, to do the sum function, you're going to type equals SUM, open parenthesis, then you're going to click and drag on everything you need to sum up, close parenthesis, enter, and you have it. What's really nice about it is let's say I go back and I make my car payment, and it will automatically adjust my sum for me. So I don't need to go, and anytime anything changes in my budget, it's going to change for me later. So using sum functions is vital for the future of a good budget.